You guys, welcome back. Don't fucking laugh at me. Welcome back to the Conscious Cowboys. You've got Tess and little Miss Sicky over here, Madison.
Okay.
And I'm not enjoying the fact that you're sick. In fact, it makes me quite sad because we normally spend so much time together and we're like always laughing and having a good time.
I know, and I have to be like mute.
Yeah, mute.
It's really sad.
So as you can hear in her sexy little voice, she's got some laryngitis.
It's some serious shit,
It's
honestly.
I'm not laughing at it.
I'm not sad that you're laughing.
Okay.
But it's seriously like at the like height of it, I question, is my voice ever going to come back again? Like you have those thoughts of like, this is it.
This is the most you've sounded in a week.
Totally.
So I'm glad that we're here. And so with that, we're going to keep things really short and sweet today because we obviously don't want to tax Madison's voice too much. So
yeah, because that's another thing. We have a podcast where I talk and we teach Pilates where I talk.
Yeah.
It's just
so
like
our
everything.
main stuff is using your voice.
Yeah. I've never been so grateful for my voice, honestly.
Yeah. But we got a couple things that we want to touch on. One is some double standards we've been noticing. So let's start there. Because
okay.
Why not?
You want to jump in? I'm down.
I think it's fun.
Yeah.
And this comes up because like as we're hanging out and we see things, we're like, oh, see, like, but if that was a woman or if that was a man, that would be like completely unacceptable.
Right. So double standards is basically like a set of rules that applies to one group or set of people and not the other.
Correct.
Yeah.
So one double standard that we talked about last week that had me laughing pretty hard because it seems to be pretty true. And maybe you don't agree.
Literally can't even remember what it is. So this will be new for everyone. Yeah.
But people who drive convertibles, like it's all right if it's a woman, you know, like it's certainly not frowned upon if you're a woman driving a convertible. But I feel like the second you see a man driving a convertible, you're like,
you think different.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah. That's 100% true. I think. Yeah.
Oh, she can't contribute a whole lot. She's just like,
no. Well, I was just thinking, do you have the one written down about the dog?
no.
Oh, okay, good.
No.
So then that could be your third one.
Oh, I have. Okay.
Okay, that's good.
Great. Why don't you just say it right now?
Okay, so we actually originally came up with this idea because from our guy friends, that actually reminds me of another double standard, but from our friends who are boys, they were saying that when we should have asked them before this so we could get like a concrete answer, but they're saying that when women who are single have a dog, that is a red flag because maybe they're needy or they want attention, so they got a dog since they don't have a boyfriend. But if you're a man, in our opinion, and you have a dog, we see that as like, oh, he could take care of something, like man's best friend.
Yeah, like, oh, he's sensitive enough to have a dog.
Yeah, like he washes it and feeds it every day.
Yeah,
he's so
like,
responsible.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Double standard.
Yeah, and then there was, when we were with our guy friends and he's like, yeah, but she's got a dog,
And we're like, excuse me, what does that mean?
Yeah, I'm like, why does that matter? Well, it just kind of means like she's desperate, so she got a dog because she can't find a boyfriend. I'm like, we all know that that's not true.
It's not. I mean, maybe in some scenarios, yes, it is true.
Sure.
But also, same for a man too.
Yes, what's wrong with wanting
like
a
you
companion?
get a dog because you want a companion. Yeah. So
Exactly.
There's that one.
What's another one that you have?
I'm
curious.
Let's see. Well, I don't know if this is actually a double standard or not, so you'll have to confirm it if it is. Okay. But I was just thinking about this, is that if I'm out somewhere and a guy who is super fucking hot hit on me or talk to me in like a market, I'd be like, yeah. But if a guy who came up to me that I didn't find attractive did that, I'd be like, he's weird.
Oh.
So like sometimes the better looking man, in my opinion, gets away with more, which is horrible to say, but it's the truth.
I think that could qualify as a double standard. I mean, why not? Because it applies to like one group of people, not the other.
Right.
Okay. That's a good one. The better looking one can get away with more. It is not
and
wrong.
Actually, I'll group it with one of my other ones, is that same thing, kind of. It's like if a guy were to DM me on Instagram and he was hot, I'd be like, yeah. But if he wasn't, I'd be like, why is he doing that? Or like, kind of. But then that also goes with like, if a guy DMs you on Instagram, a lot of people think that that's creepy and weird.
Okay.
And then if a girl does it, they're like, oh my God, that's so courageous. Like, look at her go. Like, how cool.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, then you put that out to like, okay, if a woman is like confident, right?
Yeah.
She's viewed as like sometimes bitchy. Like we're going the other way now. Like, oh, if she's confident and she can speak her mind.
She's outspoken.
Then she's bitchy.
Yeah. Bossy.
Or bossy.
Right.
Words that have been used to
You've
describe
gotten that
me.
a few times.
Yes.
That's right.
And I'm like, no, you're missing the mark.
Right.
If a man is confident and outspoken, he's powerful, right? You like everyone, he like commands attention. You listen to him. You want to know what he has to say.
Yeah. That's a good one. And that's a very, like, I think everyone can agree on that one. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it just brought me back to the moment in time where I got called bitchy and bossy.
So sad. I could see that though.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
Yeah.
They're just intimidated and they didn't know how to express those feelings.
Yeah. I'm like, no, I was just trying to orchestrate plans, but whatever.
Yeah, exactly. You guys weren't saying anything. So I took the lead here.
Yeah. Okay. This one came up last week because we're planning a big tropical vacation. And we were talking about like bikinis.
Oh my God. I was like, where are we going? But then I remembered.
You're invited.
I'm not going.
But we were talking about like what bikinis we're going to wear because there's going to be family on the trip. And, you know, like, what do you wear? Like, do you have to go like more conservative with your bikinis? Like, no, dude, I'm not trying to build my base tan with a wide white ass, you know, like we got like, I want to build my summer spring tan with my normal bathing suits. So no, I'm not going to taper it down. But it's like, women can't wear too revealing of bikinis without being viewed as like slutty or, you know, promiscuous.
She's wanting everyone to look at her.
Yeah. But then you guys can walk around in your little board shorts, you know, your little shorties, and you've got no top on and no one says a word about your nipples. And it's just like,
and your belly, your whole belly
your
showing,
whole belly's
like
out,
literally
your
everything.
shoulders.
There's no mystery anymore.
Correct.
Yeah.
I've seen basically all of it.
Yes.
But I guess like it's the butt cheek and we got like there's more curves to us.
But even if you're,
but that's not fair. Why do I have to wear a big old bikini or a big one piece? Like, dude, I don't want to wear that.
Yeah. Can you guys actually wear a wetsuit? Like, what the fuck are we supposed to do?
Like wear a shirt in the water.
Yeah.
You know,
and obviously we know why, because we've been sexualized. So then that's, you know, internalized, blah, blah, blah.
But I think our thing right now is like, I understand that is like a common belief, but I refuse to play into it. And I'm going to continue to wear my bikinis. And everyone's just going to have to like look away if they don't like it. Like, it's all right.
Right. I used to feel that way where I was, I don't know if I felt ashamed. I didn't feel ashamed of my body, but just like there was a lack of respect if I were to wear what I normally wear with my friends in front of young kids. And now I don't care. And that was what helped me too, was my friend Genevieve, who I used to live with in Santa Barbara. And she just was like, oh, who the fuck cares? I'm like, yeah, you're right. Who cares?
Yeah, who
like,
cares?
this is what I want to wear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. What you got?
I have, oh, well, I kind of already said all mine, but I have one. Oh, no. I got two more.
Okay. Let's hear 'em.
Men doing Pilates.
Okay.
We can both agree on this. Obviously, a man created Pilates, but there are not a lot of men that you see doing Pilates.
Yeah,
like, that's not very normalized. It's like, if you're a man who does Pilates, you're seen as like a pussy, or like, oh, you're just going to stretch. Like, no, it is an intense body weight workout with resistance, and men just veer away from it.
And every man I've ever brought to a Pilates class has
like,
gone,
oh shit,
my God. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, this is difficult
it's
stuff.
a good workout.
Yeah.
And they leave there really fulfilled. And yeah, I also think men in a Pilates class, if we're going to go here, is so sexy. I'm like, I don't know if it's because I love it, but like, I love an athletic man. I love a man with good body awareness. And Pilates requires a lot of body awareness, right? It
does. And then also for them, like, not to feel any shame walking into a studio that has seven other reformers and it's all women and you're the only man. I'm like, who is he?
Love it.
Usually it's someone's husband and I'm sad.
Yeah.
So,
and I'm like, oh, and he's cute, you know?
I'm like, oh my God, he's so fit. Fuck.
So yeah. All right. What's the other one that you had?
And then I have, this is just a regular observation. When we're talking to people about our friends, why do we say, oh yeah, my girlfriends?
Oh.
Like, we never say, oh, my boyfriends.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't that a weird one?
Yeah.
I always thought that, like, since I was a kid, I'm like, why do I have to say my girlfriends?
Yeah.
Like, why not just my friends?
Yeah, my friends.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And that was brought up earlier, actually, is that when I said our boy who are friends, I had to say that because it made sense as to why they didn't like single women having dogs. So, like, if you have to describe it, I understand that, but, like,
yeah,
why?
Yeah.
So that was it. Obviously, there are a lot more, but
those are the ones that have just been coming up for us recently, or that we observed at least within the past week.
Yeah, and we thought it'd be funny to talk about. So,
okay. Moving on to the fact that, we are moving, which we've already established with you guys. And for everyone who has reached out and been so excited for us, thank you. We see them. We feel it. It's so sweet.
Yeah.
And something that I think we can definitely touch on here is just how when you decide to make a big life choice, how you kind of like this initial wave of excitement rolls through you and you're like, yeah, all right, we're doing this. And then all of a sudden you start to dig your feet in the sand and you get really nervous. And you're like, oh, fuck, like, I don't even know if I want to do this anymore. Like, is this the right move? And you start second guessing, or you just feel like overwhelmed or a lot of fear. And I don't know. I mean, maybe there's more emotions that are tied up with it. But I just feel like in general, this has been like quite an emotional time for me. Like, I feel a little bit on edge, not even in a negative way. It's just more so like I just felt like I could cry one of the days. I'm like, I don't know. It's like a lot. I'm so excited.
Right.
But like even little shit that doesn't have anything to do with the life change feels like a lot.
Yeah. And then I think there are a lot of things I have to say about this because obviously, like, first off, how lucky is it that Tess and I are going through this at the exact same time? Like, who else can relate to this time except for us? So thank God for that. And then I also think that sometimes, like, obviously, yes, we're excited, but then when I don't feel excited and I feel scared, then I feel bad. Then I'm like, oh, fuck, I should be excited. This is the best time of our lives. And everyone's like, you should be so excited. I'm like, I understand that. But like, I also feel sad a little bit and scared. And that's fine.
Are you sad over the idea of like leaving because we live in the same town as our family. So like, are you sad over the idea of leaving family, of closing this chapter? Like, what is it for you?
Yeah, I think that it is like the proximity to my family, which I value like them a lot. And we're not even going to be that far away, but just like our lives won't really be down here. So like the frequency at which I see them is gonna decrease, obviously. So that makes me sad. And then I also think like to leave like what we have, which I wanted this and I want to like move on to different things. So that's great. But it's just like now I get in the elevator and I just like look at the walls and I'm like, okay, this is going to be like one of the last times this is going to happen. You know, like I think about every single thing, like leaving the parking garage. So it's just like, oh.
Yeah. Or like our daily walks. We were on it yesterday. Right. And I don't know. I think that you just start to maybe take things for granted less when you know that they're coming to an end soon.
Totally.
In general, you know? And so we're on our walk and we're just like looking at everything and we're like, God, we're going to miss this. Not that where we're moving is any less special or that our daily walks won't be as amazing as this, but it's just more so appreciating what you have because you know soon enough, like we're not going to have this.
Right. Yeah. And Tess had like imagery in the beginning to describe what this feeling is, but for me, it feels, and I was telling Tess this the other day, is that it's like when you're on a roller coaster and you're like approaching the summit of it and you're just like, this is great. And you're like, oh, fuck, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to do this. And then you just drop and it's like the best thing ever. So I think that's just what is happening right now. So.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. It's just, again, like a lot of emotions get stirred
you
up.
Just start crying.
No, I don't feel like crying right in this moment. But like I even get a little bit emotional because a lot of the women that we see almost on a daily basis, because what we teach Pilates, right? And so we see a lot of women that we've totally formed bonds with and they are sad about it. And they're like, well, what, like, obviously we're happy for you. And then they express their emotions. And then you're just like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. This is sad. Yeah. And I know that there's social media and there's lots of ways to stay in contact with people, but it's less about that. It's more so just recognizing like, it's just not going to be the same anymore. I'm not going to see these people that I know and love on a regular basis. And yeah, we can keep in contact, but like these are daily interactions we're having and we're not going to have them anymore.
Yeah. And it's also just like a crazy thought in like 2 months or less that we'll be doing something different basically every single day and like talking to different people. And it's essentially a different version of us is around the corner, which is also like, yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of feelings associated.
Yeah. I was talking with someone today about it because she was like, well, how is everything going? Like, I'm so excited for this new chapter. And I told her kind of where we've been in the past 2 years, where we're at now and where we're going. And she's like, oh, honey, I wouldn't even call this a new chapter. And I'm like, what? And she's like, no, it seems like you've honestly closed an entire book, moved it off to the side, and you've started an entirely new one. I'm like, honestly, some days it does feel like that. I feel like I have lived a completely different life than who I was even just last year.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I could say that about so many, like my entire 20s.
Yeah.
I'm like, who was that at like 20? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and then she was saying, because she's about twice our age, and she was like, well, at your age, like 27, 28 is like, they say like when you do a big turnover and like everything in your life.
They say like every 7 years or something.
Yeah, something like that. And I was just thinking to myself, well, my track record has been a lot more frequent than that. So like things have changed dramatically time and time again throughout my 20s, like you were just saying. So I feel though that like as long as we've got each other and we've got ourselves, I feel very confident in all the things that we're about to encounter. And I have never felt more certain that this is the move to make. I have always struggled with indecision and not really knowing, is this going to serve me? Is this the right move? You name it, I've overthought it. And for the first time ever, I've gone, no, this is what's right. And I think that's because everything is seamlessly connecting, where it feels like I'm on one of those people movers, and like things have been so difficult for so long that now there's the clearest path ever. And I'm like, well, okay, then that's definitely the path I'm going to take right now, because everything else is resistance and this is wide open. Let's go that way. So that helps me find a little more peace of mind of like, no, this is what's right.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I feel the same. Like I feel like I have a lot of trust in this situation, where previously I would have worried about every single thing. Yeah. And now I kind of just feel like at ease with everything, even though there's some things, or maybe like even a lot of things that I need to tie up, like loose ends. Yeah. But I feel like, well, it just is going to be fine, So I'm not worried.
Well, I complimented you on this yesterday, but I want to hit on it again because now we're like talking with our friends here. But you have been so patient and trusting with me in this whole process. Like, I honestly don't know where it comes from other than like, maybe I've shown you that like you can trust me and like things will work out, but you have hardly questioned things in a good way. Not that you're not inquisitive or like, trying to make decisions for yourself, but I explained to someone earlier today, I'm like, Madison kind of has her arms out and her eyes closed, and she's just letting me like draw her this direction right now, because I'm the one who's like kind of met the people that we're going to be working with, and like I've seen the place that we're going to work and where we're going to live, and she hasn't been down there yet. So she hasn't herself experienced it, and she's agreed to continue anyways. And I'm like, wow, we must have like that deep of a bond where she feels like, okay, I can trust this situation. And I feel like I'd do the same with you. Like if you were the person who was orchestrating it a little bit more, I'd be like, well, if Madison has given it the stamp of approval, then I'm sure I will too. So let's just go for it. But I just have to compliment you there of like, wow, you've shown me a lot of patience and trust. And that feels really great.
Oh yeah, thank you. Well, yeah, because I do trust you, which I've said to you before too. And I don't know. I feel like I've read a lot about this, of like when people like surrender to things happening. And of course I feel like I have control in the situation too, but I just am doing that. And it feels good.
That's fucking awesome. So I'm like, all right, full speed ahead. Let's go. We don't have an update fully yet on like the timeline of things, but I mean, obviously you guys will hear about it as things start to pick up and we start to move about. But yeah, we're in this like planning phase where we're like right there at the edge. And so we're just trying to stay patient and calm and just enjoy what we have while we have it. And that's like a daily reminder we're giving ourselves of like, don't rush to the next chapter. Enjoy this. Like you don't need to have all the answers right this very second. Like let's just cruise.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out, honestly.
Yeah. Some nights it keeps me up and some nights I go right to sleep. So
yeah, that's
every day is a little different.
I mean, honestly, I feel like since this cold has been here, I'm just like trying to go with the flow, you know? Like, I just hope I get better and then everything's fine after that.
Yeah. All right. Well, I feel like that's it. I want to give your voice a rest so you can get better and come back stronger than ever next week.
I know. I do have how we're doing kind of like little inspiration at the end.
I love it. Let's hear it.
Okay. So now I feel like, oh my God, there's so much pressure on me. Follow.
Wait, pause for just a fucking second. You created that sense of pressure in your mind. I always
create the pressure for myself. Like there's literally never pressure. I create it. Yeah, it's a fucking problem. I just had to admit it. Yeah. Okay, so follow your plan and not your mood.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Relevant.
Wow. Can we tattoo that on my forehead?
Dude, I always have to think about that all the time.
Yeah. Because I don't want to say like we're moody people. I think everyone's moody. She's like, I'm going to go ahead and say I'm moody.
Yeah, I can definitely be moody.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure
Which is like, makes me mad because some people are like, well, that's why women can't be president because they'll let their mood, you know.
Are we still on that? You know,
people
like,
fucking
people
say that. Yeah,
shit?
and I'm like, okay, well, we could feel really powerful. Then sometimes we need to surrender a little bit. And that's not fucking bad. Sorry, actually not sorry that I don't have the same kind of 24-hour situation that men do where they're like stable at all times. That's just not me.
Yeah, and I wouldn't even go as far as saying that men are stable at all times because I know that that's not even true. So it's just the outward persona. I don't think they have the hormonal fluctuations as often as we do. Like we're on like a 28 to 34 day cycle where shit is wild and you wake up and you're like, who am I today? But
oh,
you know?
Yeah, I do know.
You do know.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes from like hour to hour, I'm like, who was that 20 minutes ago?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if I like her that much.
Yeah, I'm like, we're going to forget she was here. We're going to move on from that one.
Yeah, thankfully, I was not in anyone's company, so I feel fine now.
Oh, yeah. But anyways, we're keeping our heads on straight and follow your plan. Your plan.
Not your mood.
Your plan, not your mood.
Also, I was looking at like our YouTube covers. This is the last thing I'm going to say. I was looking at our YouTube covers for the last like whatever fucking few weeks. And I literally in almost all of them have worn a half zip jacket in almost all of them.
Does that surprise you?
No, it doesn't because I am obsessed with them right now.
Well, not only but we dress like we have a uniform. Like we don't really go far outside of a few staple items. Like you can pretty much always catch us in like a cotton onesie, like a workout shorty tank top onesie, a quarter zip or half zip, denim, and like a tank. Can you think beyond that?
Now that we have our Birkenstock mules, we always wear these. Which
show them.
These are we could kind of see because my leg is crossed. But these. We wanted these for years, and they're actually the best ever.
Why did we wait? Well, I think
they were out of stock.
We've both purchased them in the past, and we thought, nope, these are.
I was like, these are not me. And now I'm like, maybe it's because I'm entering my late 20s.
Yeah, I felt too granola in them.
Yes, and now I don't feel that.
I don't because I've embraced more of who I am, and also I know like
the granola.
Well, no, like I'm also like we balance it out with still being like sporty.
Yes,
you know.
Like as long as I feel like somewhat sexy on the top, it's okay that I'm wearing
so she goes kind of topless with her Birkenstock clogs.
Yeah, because we don't succumb to double standards over here. Okay, my nipples can show too.
Okay.
On that note, throat is getting dry, so we gotta go. All right, see, that was quick. Talk soon. Thank you for listening.
Bye, you guys. Have a good week.